Now we are going to open the file, import text data, and we are having the data in the name of Hausman Tailor. Okay. Now we are having this data set, and let's see the data set. We are having how many variables here? X1, X2, Z1, Z2, and Y. So we are having 5 variables here, and 4 observations, 165, mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. And if we look at the data editor, so you can see that some of the variables are time invariant. ID is my cross section, T is my time period, X1 is a time variant variable, X2 is also a time variant variable, and this Z2 is time invariant variable. You can see that this value will not change for different cross sections. So we are having time invariant variable here, and this Z1, which is actually a gender, which is also a time invariant variable, right? So how to deal with this time invariant variable, we have to see here. Okay, now first of all, I try to describe all these variables. Okay, describe, कोई खास command नहीं है. Now let's try to apply the regression. Simple regression देखते हैं पहले, whether they are correlated or not. Y is my dependent variable, and I am taking all the variables Z1, Z2, and X1, X2. Okay, whether they are significant or not. So here we found that all the variables are having significant impact on Y. All the variables are having significant impact on Y, but this regression is the pooled regression actually. This regression is a pooled regression. So we should go to the panel regression model. So
XT set.
Yeah, XT set and ID and time. So I defined it as a panel variable now, and after that I want to apply the panel regression XT reg, and I'm going to apply the fixed effects. So whenever you apply the fixed effect model, you can see that the software omitted some of the variables. Z1 is omitted, Z2 is omitted, and X2 is omitted, right? So we are having 3 time invariant variables here, and because of this problem, either I have to apply the random fact or do something. If I apply the random fact, X2 is still omitted, and but the model is working. So in case of within effect, 3 variables are omitted. So either I have to apply the random fact model. So either I apply random fact model, but there is one more option we have to deal with the time invariant variable. So that model I am going to show you, and this model is known as Hausman-Tailor model. So in Hausman-Tailor model, the command is very simple: xt h Tailor. So this is the command for running the Hausman-Tailor method, and Y is my dependent variable, and Z2, Z1. So this order is actually important, and then N dodge and Z2 and X2. So after that, what is the problem? XTH Tailor. ये कमांड नहीं रन कर रहा है. कमांड इज वेरी स्ट्रेट. कहीं कहाँ पे गलती होगा इसमें? Z2 अच्छा कॉमन ही आएगा एक तो.
I think
ओके बस वो कोमा ही था. कोमा ही गड़बड़ था. यहाँ पे ना बड़ा ध्यान से देखना पड़ता है कि कोमा तो नहीं लग गया कहीं. Okay, now you can see that the software divide the variables into four parts, four categories, right? So this is simply the Hausman Tailor test, and Hausman Tailor test incorporated the time invariant variables in a very nice manner. And here this x1 variable is treated as a exogenous variable, x2 variable is treated as a endogenous variable, and Z1 is treated as a exogenous and Z2 is treated as a endogenous. Actually, the which variable is exogenous and which variable is endogenous, that is decided by the literature or by testing. But I am telling you the background of this test so that you can understand that how to apply this Hausman Tailor test. So commands are these. These are the commands which you should remember to apply Hausman Tailor test. And in Hausman Tailor test, what is the issue? Issue is that how to decide that which is exogenous, which is endogenous, which is exogenous, and which is endogenous. So this is a problem. So let me try to explain what is the meaning of this. Basically, the okay, the Hausman Tailor test. Write the equation like YIT, and this test seems to be highly useful because whenever you are having time invariant variable and you can deal with Hausman Tailor test rather than random fact. So Hausman Tailor test divide the variables into four categories. So let me show you the one, and it is beta 1 plus x2 beta 2 plus z1. Z1 is indicating here time invariant variable. So let it is gamma 1 and Z2 here gamma 2, right? And this is the error term Vi. So this is the uh, Hausman Tailor test. In Hausman Tailor test, there are four type of variables. So these two type of variables are time variant variables, and these two type of variables are time invariant variable. So we define time invariant variables by x. This is time invariant, and this is time invariant. मैं उल्टा लिख गया हूँ. This is time variant. Time के साथ vary करते हैं, and this is time invariant. Okay. Then further, the you have to find out which variable in time variant are purely exogenous and which variables have the problem of endogeneity or they may be endogenous, right? So the time variant variables are divided further into two categories. Similarly, this time invariant variables are also divided into two categories. One is exo and one is endo, right? So in this case, we assume that x1 is exogenous time invariant, x2 is endogenous time invariant, z1 is exogenous time invariant, and z2 is endogenous time invariant. X1 is exogenous time variant, x2 is endogenous and time variant. So you have to make categories, four categories of the independent variables in the panel data regression model. So because without this category, this Hausman Tailor will not work. And in the data, if you see in the data, I applied this regression model. So the software divide the 4 variables into 4 categories. This x1 is time invariant but exogenous. So I put x1 here, and then x2 variable is time variant but endogenous variable. So this is x2, and this is z1 is time invariant but exogenous variable, and z2 is time invariant but endogenous variable. So you have to put both the endogenous variables, like x2 you decided to be endogenous, z2 you decided to be endogenous. So both the endogenous variable you have to define like this. So you are saying that in this model, the endogenous variables are z2 and x2, and the software accordingly make this category and will give you the answer. So this is simply known as Hausman Tailor effect.
I have a question. Can I ask?
हाँ जी मैडम पूछ लीजिए, लेकिन ये टेस्ट मैंने आज ही सीखा है तो मैं इतना ही बता पाऊंगा आपको।
अच्छा सर, मेरे को ये पूछना था कि जब वेरिएबल्स इंडोजेनस है तो फिर उसके लिए इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स कंसीडर करना पड़ेगा ना?
बिल्कुल, ये हमारा ये एक मिनट, ये हमारा इंस्ट्रूमेंट का केस नहीं है। दिस इज नॉट द इंस्ट्रूमेंट प्रॉब्लम। ये प्रॉब्लम हमारी है कि हाउ टू incorporate the time invariant variable in the model.
Okay, so x2 is not related to the error, and neither gamma 2 is related to the error.
So here we are not finding seeing the problem of endogeneity or exogeneity. ये हमारा endogeneity exogeneity का issue नहीं है. Issue is only that how to incorporate the time invariant variable in the model.
So how do you decide whether it is an exogenous or endogenous, this x1 and x2?